Imagine resting at the edge of a quiet world where the ground beneath you feels warm, steady, ancient. The air around you is still, touched with the soft scent of cooled stone and distant mineral clouds drifting slowly through the sky. You're safe here, wrapped in the gentle hush that settles before dawn. Let your breath ease, let your shoulders loosen. Let your mind drift into this quiet place where time moves differently, where the earth speaks in slow rhythms. And as you settle, you may softly wonder, how long has the world been shaping itself beneath your feet? It's okay if you're already drifting. You don't need to stay awake. You don't need to follow every word. This whole journey is gentle. Imagine standing near an ancient volcanic field, the ground dark and smooth beneath you, shaped by eruptions so old that forests have grown over the scars. The air is cool now, but somewhere deep below, heat still lingers, soft, patient, steady. Feel that warmth rising through the earth. Hear nothing but the faint whisper of wind brushing across old stone. Smell the clean mineral scent of ancient rock. Volcanoes are older than mountains, older than the forest you've walked through, older even than the continents in their modern shapes. Long ago, when the world was new and covered in endless oceans, underwater volcanoes built the first islands. Their eruptions were slow, steady breaths from the deep. Lava cooled into stone, stone rose into peaks, peaks grew into continents. Every step you take on land exists because a volcano once exhaled. You might not remember that later. That's fine. Let yourself drift. Volcanoes are not chaotic. They are rhythmic. Their pressure builds slowly, like the deep inhale of the planet, and when they release, it is simply the earth reshaping itself, softly returning to balance. Many volcanoes spend most of their lives in silence, asleep beneath moss, beneath forests, beneath snow. Have you ever wondered how the earth dreams? Imagine standing at the edge of a caldera, a massive bowl-shaped valley created by an eruption so large that the volcano collapsed inward. But now, thousands of years later, the valley is peaceful, filled with lakes, meadows, forests, and birds drifting lazily on warm currents of air. Life returns gently after fire. Some volcanic lakes glow turquoise, some steam quietly at dawn, some hide rare forms of life found nowhere else. You may not notice your breathing slowing, but it is. That's good. Deep within the earth, magma moves like thick glowing honey, slow, steady, ancient. It doesn't rush, it doesn't force. It flows with gravity, with pressure, with time. And sometimes when it finds an opening, it rises to the surface in luminous rivers of molten rock, painting the world in fire that will eventually cool into new earth. Imagine watching lava at night. Feel the heat on your skin. Hear the soft crackle of cooling stone. See the slow, glowing stream moving with surprising grace. Notice how calm it feels, more like a tide than an explosion. Let that image settle in your mind. There are more volcanoes underwater than on land. Entire mountain ranges, thousands of kilometers long, rise beneath the oceans, erupting quietly in the deep darkness where pressure turns fire into smooth pillows of stone. Pillow lava, they call it. Rounded, gentle formations created by the meeting of extreme heat and cooling water. Have you ever thought about the mountains no one sees? Some volcanoes erupt with glowing fountains of lava that rise into the sky like quiet fireworks. Others release ash so fine that it travels around the world, softening sunlight, cooling the planet for years. Some eruptions form islands overnight. Others take centuries of steady growth. It's okay if your thoughts begin to wander now. They can drift like ash in high winds. You don't need to bring them back. Imagine walking through a volcanic desert. The ground is black and smooth. The air carries the faint scent of minerals. The stones beneath your feet are light, porous, shaped by ancient gases escaping into the sky. You hear nothing but your own breath. You feel nothing but calm. Volcanoes create new soil, rich, fertile, alive with minerals that plants love. Some of the greenest, most vibrant forests grow on land shaped by fire. After an eruption, life often returns quickly. Ferns first, then shrubs, then forests. Renewal is built into the rhythm of fire. Have you ever noticed how endings become beginnings in nature? Some volcanoes sleep for thousands of years between eruptions. Some will never erupt again. Some erupt continuously, like soft fountains of fire at the edge of the sea. In Iceland, people bake bread in volcanic soil. In Japan, hot springs heated by magma soothe aching muscles. In Hawaii, new land forms every year. Volcanoes are not destroyers, they are creators. You might be drifting deeper now. Let yourself. Imagine a volcano glowing faintly beneath stars, its peak dusted with snow, even as warmth hums below the surface. Feel the contrast. Cold air, warm ground. Hear the distant rumble, soft as a storm far away. Smell the crisp night air mixing with faint sulfur. See the horizon glowing gently. Let the scene lull you. Volcanoes produce crystals, olivine, quartz, feldspar, hidden within their cooling lava. Some crystals form in minutes, some take centuries. Inside them, bubbles of ancient air become trapped, tiny time capsules of forgotten atmospheres. How long has the world been breathing? Volcanoes sing in frequencies we can't hear, deep vibrations created by magma shifting underground. Animals sense these songs. Birds grow restless, dogs whine, even insects move away from the slopes before eruption. The earth whispers before it speaks. You don't need to listen closely, just float with the rhythm. Imagine a volcanic cave lit by the faint glow of minerals, a place where the air is warm and still. Feel the smooth walls shaped by ancient flows. Hear tiny droplets echo. Notice how the silence feels alive. Let it wrap around you. Volcanoes create obsidian, glass so sharp it can slice at the molecular level. Ancient people used it for tools, mirrors, ceremonial blades. Some cultures believed obsidian held memories of the earth, storing the energy of every eruption. Perhaps you've felt that silent power before. Volcanoes shape climate, carve landscapes, build islands, heat oceans, create mountains, and even enrich the atmosphere with nutrients. Without them, Earth would be quiet, too quiet, its surface smooth, unchanging, without the vibrant cycles that give rise to forests, oceans, and life. You can drift now. It's okay. There's no need to stay awake for the rest. Imagine settling into a soft, peaceful space within yourself, the kind of stillness that feels like warm rock beneath the sun. A slow breath moves through you, steady and gentle as if the earth beneath your body is exhaling with you. The world grows quiet around the edges. Even your thoughts drift like ash floating in a calm sky. And before anything unfolds, allow a soft question to settle in your awareness, not demanding an answer, just drifting. Where are you watching from tonight? It's okay if you're already half asleep. You don't need to hold on tightly. You can drift whenever your body wants, now. Imagine standing before an ancient volcanic landscape. The air is warm, carrying the faint scent of minerals and distant steam. Under your feet, the ground feels solid, but not perfectly still. There's a slow pulse beneath it, a deep, ancient heartbeat that has existed since long before the first forests grew on Earth. You feel it through your shoes, a gentle vibration, almost like breathing. Volcanoes have always been here, older than mountains, older than oceans, shaping continents long before life rose from water. Every grain of sand, every island, every mountain ridge carries some quiet memory of fire and molten stone. Have you ever wondered how far into the past a volcano's memory can reach? Long ago, early eruptions forged the atmosphere itself. Gases drifting from deep within the earth helped form the sky you breathe now. Without volcanoes, the planet would never have cooled, never stabilized, never become the place that holds your quiet body as you rest tonight. Imagine that for a moment. The air around you, shaped by fire, the land beneath you, born from molten stone, the world itself, once glowing like a newborn star. Let yourself feel that ancient warmth, that slow cosmic history, settling gently inside your chest. And as you breathe softly, here are gentle truths drifting toward you, each like a tiny ember floating through a dark sky. Volcanoes are not angry. They move slowly, patiently, shifting deep Earth's pressure over thousands of years. Even the most dramatic eruption begins with tiny, delicate bubbles rising through magma, like warm breath stirring beneath stone. Some volcanoes sleep for so long that forests grow over their old craters, trees sinking roots into cooled lava. Some never erupt at all, spending their entire lives as quiet fountains of warm minerals beneath deep oceans. You might not remember these facts later. You don't need to. It's okay to drift. Imagine descending a volcanic slope covered in soft ash. Feel the gentle crunch beneath your feet. Hear the distant hiss of steam vents releasing warm air. Smell the faint sulfur, sharp but not unpleasant, like the earth whispering through narrow cracks. Notice the warmth radiating from deep below. Let yourself sink into that ancient heat. Inside every volcano is a reservoir of molten rock, magma, glowing like slow lightning beneath the crust. But magma is not chaotic. It moves like thick honey, flowing in slow currents that can take centuries to rise. Only when enough pressure builds does it search for an escape, drifting upward through cracks, creating new stone as it cools. Have you ever wondered how long it takes for one eruption to form? Sometimes longer than civilizations, longer than languages, longer than memory itself. Volcanoes shape the world with patience. Picture a lonely volcano rising above a quiet landscape. Clouds drift around its peak like gentle cotton. The air feels cool, touched by the faint warmth of distant magma. The sky above holds tiny flecks of ash, falling like slow snow. Hear nothing but wind brushing past ancient rock. Let your thoughts soften into that silence. There are hidden volcanoes beneath ice sheets in Antarctica, sleeping under miles of frozen weight. There are volcanoes beneath oceans, erupting in the absolute darkness of the deep, lighting the water with glowing minerals. There are volcanoes on other planets and moons, Mars, Venus, even Jupiter's moon. Io burns with molten fire. Volcanoes are not just Earth's breath. They are the universe's quiet language of creation. You might be drifting now. Good. Let the words fade as softly as ash settling on still water. Imagine warm clouds drifting from a crater lake, tinted with minerals that make the water appear turquoise, emerald, or pale milk white. Feel the heat rising toward your face. Hear soft bubbling from vents beneath the surface. Notice how the colours shift with light. Let yourself melt into that gentle warmth. Some crater lakes are so acidic they dissolve stone slowly, like thoughts dissolving in sleep. Some are so still they reflect the sky perfectly, becoming mirrors of drifting clouds. Some hold bacteria that glow faintly at night, turning the water into a shimmering pool of life born from heat. Have you ever wondered how life can grow in a place shaped by fire? It grows anyway, quietly, patiently, just like you resting now. Picture volcanic glass, obsidian, formed when lava cools so fast it becomes smooth as water frozen mid-flow. Run your fingers across its cold surface in your imagination. Feel how sharp and perfect the edges can be. Hear the soft scrape of stone against stone. Notice how even destruction can create something beautiful. Let that image settle in your mind like cooling lava. You don't need to fight sleep. You don't need to stay present. Let yourself drift. Volcanoes create islands, entire worlds rising from the sea. Hawaii was born this way. One eruption after another, layers of cooled lava forming mountains that eventually touched the sky. Iceland, too, still grows from fire deep below, its land humming quietly with heat. Where lava meets ocean, steam rises in delicate white curtains, hissing softly like the world exhaling. Imagine standing on a black sand beach formed from shattered lava. Feel the warmth beneath your feet. Hear the distant thunder of waves. Smell salt carried by wind. Notice how ancient everything feels. Let yourself drift deeper. Imagine sinking into a deep, peaceful stillness, as though you're resting on the warm surface of the earth itself. The air around you feels soft, touched by distant heat rising from places far below. You breathe slowly, letting your chest settle, letting your thoughts become light and loose. And in that quiet, a slow question drifts toward you like a faint ember. Have you ever wondered what the earth feels like beneath its calm surface? You don't need to answer. You don't need to stay awake. You may drift whenever you wish. Deep below your feet, far deeper than light has ever travelled, the earth carries slow oceans of molten rock. They do not rage or roar the way people often imagine. They move with patience. They shift like thick honey warmed by ancient fire. Every so often, those hidden seas rise through cracks, finding paths upward, weaving through chambers older than memory. Imagine that warmth now. Feel it humming beneath you. Hear the distant silence of stone. Notice the heaviness dissolving in your body. Let yourself rest inside that warmth. Long ago, people believed volcanoes were the breaths of sleeping giants. Even though the truth is quieter, it is no less beautiful. Deep inside every volcano lies a reservoir of molten rock called magma. It waits softly, sometimes for centuries, pressing gently against the walls of its chamber. And only when the earth shifts, or pressure whispers too strongly, does it begin its slow rise. Have you ever sensed something building inside you long before it reached the surface? Some volcanoes never erupt in human lifetimes. Some erupt gently, releasing warm gases that shimmer like mirages. Some exhale steam from hidden vents. Some release glowing rivers of lava that move slower than a walking pace. Picture one of those slow rivers now. The glow is warm, not harsh. The sound is low, like a quiet sigh. If you listen closely, you might hear tiny cracking noises as cooled crust forms along its surface. Smell the faint, earthy minerals rising from the molten rock. Let your breath fall into the same easy rhythm. You don't need to stay focused. You can wander. Your mind is allowed to drift like ash carried by the wind. Some volcanoes sleep for thousands of years before waking. Some lie underwater, glowing faintly in darkness where fish drift past like moving stars. Some create entire islands, slowly lifting land from the sea. Some carve craters that become lakes more peaceful than the sky. Imagine standing at the edge of one of those crater lakes. The water is still, the air is cool against your skin. A soft mist rises from the surface. Hear the faint lap of water against stone. Notice the quiet. Let yourself sink deeper. Have you ever wondered why volcanic sand feels so soft under your feet? Each grain is a tiny memory of ancient eruptions, bits of cooled lava shaped into smoothness by waves and wind. When you hold volcanic sand, you're holding the Earth's slow breath from long ago. And perhaps you're already drifting, your thoughts growing faint, your body growing heavy. That's okay. Let yourself go. Volcanoes are storytellers of the planet. They reveal what happens deep within the Earth. They show how continents grow. They teach how life emerges from destruction. After an eruption, soil becomes rich beyond measure. New forests rise, new plants root easily, birds return, then animals, then entire ecosystems. Life begins again, quietly, from ash. Imagine running your fingers through volcanic soil. It feels warm, it feels soft, it smells like rain and minerals and new beginnings. Notice how comforting that thought is. Let it wash over you. Some eruptions send ash into the sky so high it drifts across continents, settling gently in places far away. Some eruptions paint sunsets in colours that feel unreal: deep red, glowing orange, soft violet. For months after, the sky carries traces of those quiet storms. Have you ever watched a sunset and felt as though time slowed down just for you? As you breathe now, imagine warm clouds drifting overhead, glowing softly with volcanic dust. They move slowly, calmly, as though guiding you toward rest. You don't need to stay awake any longer. You don't need to listen to the rest. Sleep can take you gently whenever it chooses. Volcanoes are reminders that even deep, quiet places can hold immense strength. And even strength can be soft. Even fire can be slow. Even the earth knows how to rest, how to breathe, how to begin again. Let yourself drift into that warmth now. Let your thoughts dissolve like cooled ash. Let your body become still. Imagine settling into a quiet stillness where the air around you feels warm and soft, as though the earth itself is exhaling a slow, ancient breath. The ground beneath you feels steady, deep, older than memory. As you let your shoulders sink into comfort and your breathing fall into its natural rhythm, a gentle question drifts to you like a faint ember carried on warm air. Where are you watching from tonight? You don't need to answer. You don't need to stay awake. This is a place where the earth speaks slowly, and you can drift whenever you're ready. Imagine standing near the base of an ancient volcano, not erupting, not rumbling, simply resting. The slopes are quiet. The air smells faintly of warm minerals and deep soil. Somewhere beneath the surface, slow rivers of molten rock move with patience, like thoughts stirring in a mind far older than the continents themselves. You feel a gentle warmth rising from the ground, subtle and soothing, like the heat of a stone warmed by afternoon sun. Have you ever wondered what waits beneath your feet? What quiet chambers the earth hides, softly glowing in the darkness? Long ago, before humans traced coastlines on maps, before forests spread across valleys, molten rock shaped the land with slow, deliberate motions. These deep reservoirs, magma chambers, are not raging oceans of fire. They are warm, viscous pools, resting in vast pockets of stone. They pulse slowly, expanding and contracting with the breath of the earth. Imagine those chambers now. Feel their warmth radiating upward. Hear nothing but your own calm breath. Sense how ancient that warmth feels. Let yourself settle deeper into stillness. You might not remember this part, that's perfectly okay. You can drift in and out like a thought dissolving into sleep. Volcanoes are not only mountains, they are windows into Earth's interior, openings through which the planet releases its slow-built pressure. Most of the time, this process is gentle. Gases seep quietly through cracks. Warm steam rises into cool air. Minerals crystallize deep in the dark. Everything moves on timescales far beyond a single human life. Have you ever noticed how comforting it is to imagine something so vast, so slow, so patient? Imagine walking along volcanic soil. It feels soft beneath your feet, rich with minerals. Hear the faint crunch with each step. Smell the warmth rising from the ground. Notice how the landscape feels alive without rushing. Let yourself move slowly with it. Deep below, magma forms from rock that melts under immense heat and pressure. But even this melting is soft, gradual. It happens quietly, stone dissolving into thick liquid over thousands of years. In these hidden spaces, elements mix: iron, magnesium, calcium, silica, creating molten blends that will someday rise toward the surface. Perhaps you felt something similar inside yourself, a slow mixing of memories, emotions, thoughts, things reshaping gently over time. Volcanoes breathe gases the way forests breathe wind. Warm vapors drift upward through cracks. Carbon dioxide collects in hollows. Water vapor escapes into cool nighttime air. Sulfur traces leave faint, earthy scents. Imagine placing your hand on warm stone. The heat seeps into your palm. It feels steady, grounding, ancient. Hear the distant whisper of steam escaping from a vent. Notice how peaceful the warmth feels. Let yourself soften. You don't need to stay alert. You don't need to follow every word. If your eyes close, that's perfect. Deep beneath volcanic slopes, long tunnels of rock form pathways for magma. Some are narrow veins, no wider than your arm. Others stretch for kilometers, quiet highways of molten stone moving in darkness. These pathways expand, contract, reshape themselves with the slow movement of heat. Have you ever wondered whether the Earth thinks in centuries instead of seconds? Picture a vast underground cavern filled with glowing rock. The light is soft, orange, pulsing gently, like the rhythm of a slow heartbeat. The air feels thick and warm. Tiny crystals form along the cavern walls. You stand quietly, watching the slow glow shift, never hurried. Let that image drift into your mind like warm mist. Volcanoes store stories in their layers, old eruptions, quiet centuries, moments of pressure and release. Each cooled layer of lava is a memory, stacked gently atop the last. Sometimes, deep within volcanoes, droplets of magma trap small bubbles. These bubbles hold ancient air from eras long vanished. Scientists can read them like time capsules, tiny pockets of vanished worlds. Imagine holding a stone that contains the breath of the earth from 1,000,000 years ago. Feel its weight in your hand. Hear the faint hum of time in its silence. Let that image soothe your thoughts. You might already be drifting. That's okay. You don't have to stay awake to understand. Some volcanic systems span entire regions. Massive networks of magma chambers connected beneath valleys, rivers and forests. These are not chaotic structures. They are organized by heat and pressure, shaped like gentle, spreading roots beneath the land. Imagine standing in a meadow, unaware that deep beneath your feet lies a vast reservoir of molten rock, resting quietly, causing no harm. Feel the grass brushing your ankles, hear the wind drifting through tall stems. Notice how peaceful the land feels. Let yourself trust that peace. Volcanoes create new land. They form islands, they build mountains, they enrich soil. They give life to ecosystems that could never exist without them. Have you ever thought about how creation often begins in darkness, in heat, in quiet transformation? Imagine lava cooling into smooth black stone. Its surface crackles softly. Warmth radiates gently. Crystals begin to form along its edges. Over time, moss will grow, plants will root, life will return. In the stillness of this moment, allow yourself to rest in that cycle. Heat becoming stone, stone becoming soil, soil becoming forest. You don't need to try. You don't need to focus. Just drift. Imagine standing in a quiet valley where the air feels heavy with ancient warmth, and the ground beneath your feet holds memories of fire that once shaped the horizon. You breathe slowly, feeling the soft hum of the earth deep below, a low and steady rhythm that has pulsed for millions of years. As you relax, your mind drifts toward the quiet presence of distant volcanic mountains, their silhouettes softened by mist, their slopes wrapped in stillness. You don't need to stay alert. You don't need to listen closely. Just let yourself float gently into this landscape. Deep beneath the surface, far below soil and stone, molten rock moves with a patience that no human lifetime could measure. It drifts through chambers shaped over eons, glowing with quiet heat, swirling slowly like a deep, fiery ocean. Have you ever wondered how the earth feels on the inside? Not the loud eruptions people imagine, but the soft currents, the gentle circulation of magma shifting in silence. It is a world of warmth, of colour, of movement hidden from all eyes. Imagine now that you lower yourself mentally through the layers of the earth. Feel the soil fade, feel the stone thicken. Notice the temperature rising, but not in a frightening way, in a comforting, enveloping warmth. Hear nothing but the soft pulse of heat moving through ancient channels. Let your thoughts soften into that glow. Volcanoes are not just explosions, they are slow architects. Much of their life is spent in quiet phases, building pressure, releasing gases, shaping minerals with heat and time. Some volcanoes sleep for hundreds of years. Others breathe gently, releasing faint wisps of steam that drift into the air like soft whispers. If you were to place your hand on the ground nearby, you might feel a faint warmth, like the earth is dreaming beneath you. You might not remember all of this later. That's okay. You're allowed to drift. Long ago, early explorers noticed that volcanic soil grew plants unlike anything they had seen, lush, rich, vibrant. They didn't realize then that volcanic ash contains minerals that revive the land. A volcano may seem destructive, but after the quiet passage of time, it nurtures forests, meadows, and ecosystems that thrive in its wake. Some of the world's most fertile regions began as fields of ash. Imagine walking through such a place. Feel the cool breeze brushing your skin. Hear the soft rustle of leaves in trees rooted in ancient lava. Smell the rich scent of soil reborn from fire. Notice how life returns in waves, gentle, persistent, unstoppable. Let yourself rest in that renewal. Have you ever wondered how islands form? Many rise silently from volcanic activity deep under the ocean, where pressure and molten rock combine to create new land. These submarine volcanoes work in darkness, unseen, quietly building mountains that one day touch the surface. Some islands begin with a single eruption, others take thousands of years, but all grow from the same gentle persistence of molten stone. Picture an underwater volcano now. The water is cold, dark, still. Then a soft plume of minerals drifts upward like glowing smoke. Feel the faint vibration of heat rising into the ocean. Hear bubbles escaping into the vast silence. Notice how even in darkness creation continues. Let that image settle softly inside you. And as you breathe slowly, drifting deeper into calm, consider this. Some volcanoes never erupt at all. They remain warm, shifting quietly beneath forests and snowfields, content to exist without drama. Their magma chambers breathe in slow cycles, expanding and contracting like the gentle rise and fall of a sleeping giant's chest. Perhaps you've felt something similar, the quiet potential inside you, content to simply be. Some volcanoes create lakes. When a crater fills with rainwater, it forms a serene pool that mirrors the sky, as still as glass. These lakes often hide deep, mysterious colours, turquoise, sapphire, jade, shaped by minerals dissolved in the water. At the surface, everything looks calm, but beneath lies the memory of fire. Imagine standing at the edge of such a lake. Feel cool mist touching your face. Hear water lapping gently against ancient stone. Smell crisp mountain air carrying hints of wet earth. Notice the way the lake glows under shifting light. Let yourself dissolve into that reflection. You don't need to stay awake. Your breath can slow, and your thoughts can wander like drifting ash on a breeze. Volcanoes shape the sky too. Their ash, soft, powdery, full of minerals, drifts upward before settling back to Earth. Some eruptions send ash high into the stratosphere, where it glides effortlessly across continents. But not all ash falls from violence. Some comes from small, gentle releases like warm sighs from the Earth. This ash becomes part of sunsets, deepening their colours, painting the sky with layers of soft orange and violet. Have you ever noticed a sunset that felt unusually deep, unusually tender? It may have carried the quiet remnants of a distant volcano. Imagine that sunset now. Feel its warmth fading on your skin. Hear the evening settling around you. Notice the horizon glowing like embers. Let your mind float into those colours. Some volcanoes create glass. When lava cools rapidly, it forms obsidian, black, smooth, reflective, like frozen night. For thousands of years, humans used volcanic glass to create tools, mirrors, and ornaments that carried an otherworldly shine. Running your fingers across obsidian feels like touching a cool, still memory. Picture holding a piece of obsidian. Feel its smooth surface. Sense its weight. Not heavy, not light. See your reflection on its dark mirror. Let that reflection soften into calm. Volcanoes create crystals too. Hidden inside lava tubes, minerals cool into shapes that resemble delicate geometric flowers. Some grow clear as water. Some grow smoky, amber, or green. Some shimmer faintly in darkness. All formed from slow patience, and as you breathe gently, you might feel yourself drifting into that same patience, the ancient calm that lives inside stone and fire. The chapter continues in this quiet place of warmth and slow creation. You are safe. You are held. You may drift whenever you choose. Imagine settling into a quiet space inside yourself, where the world feels softer, where every breath moves like warm mist drifting upward through still air. The light around you fades into a deep, comforting glow. Not bright, not intense, but warm, like embers breathing beneath a blanket of ash. And as you breathe slowly, letting tension slide out of your shoulders, a gentle question drifts across your thoughts. Are you somewhere peaceful right now? You don't need to answer. You don't need to stay awake. You can drift whenever your body wants to rest. Imagine standing near the base of an ancient volcano, long quiet, long watching the sky change through centuries. The air is cool around its slopes, carrying the scent of stone warmed by distant sunlight. You run your fingertips along rough basalt, feeling the tiny pits and grooves carved by rain, wind, and time. Beneath your feet, the earth feels steady, but alive in a slow, patient way. Have you ever wondered what a volcano feels like on the inside? Deep below the surface, molten rock moves in slow currents. It is not raging, not violent, but drifting. Thick, warm, glowing softly in chambers formed over millions of years. The heat is ancient, older than forests, older than mountains, older than almost every story the Earth has ever told. Imagine that warmth now, a distant pulse, a heartbeat of stone. Feel it radiating gently through darkness. Hear the slow rumble that isn't really a sound but a feeling. Notice how your breath instinctively slows to match it. Let yourself drift with that rhythm. Volcanoes do not hurry. Magma rises at the pace of continents drifting. Crystals form inside molten chambers over lifetimes. Gases seep upward like whispers finding their way through old pathways. Everything moves in deep time. You might already feel sleep tugging at your eyes. That's okay. You don't need to stay for all of this. Inside volcanoes, minerals grow in delicate shapes. Long needles of olivine, shimmering crystals of feldspar, tiny bubbles trapped like ancient breaths. Each crystal holds a record of temperature and pressure, a quiet diary written by the earth itself. Have you ever wondered how something born of fire can be so beautiful? Imagine holding a piece of volcanic glass still warm from creation. Feel its smooth surface in your palm. See how the light glides across it. Notice the faint warmth lingering inside. Let that warmth settle into your chest. Volcanoes recycle the earth. Old rock melts into new rock. Land disappears and reappears in new forms. Islands rise from the sea. Soil rich in minerals spreads across valleys, nourishing life for centuries. Imagine forests growing on quiet volcanic slopes. Ferns softening the ground, moss forming gentle carpets over stone. Trees rooting deep into ash that once drifted through the sky like pale snow. The world renews itself slowly, and you can too. Beneath a volcano, there are networks of tunnels carved by once flowing lava, now hollow and cool, echoing with the faint drip of water. Some of these tubes stretch for miles, forming silent caverns where the air feels still and ancient. Imagine walking through one. Your footsteps quiet, the air cool, the ceiling glittering with tiny mineral crystals. Hear the slow drip of water gathering in small pools. Smell the faint metallic scent of cooled basalt. Let your mind drift deeper into that silence. You don't need to stay awake much longer. If your thoughts begin to blur, that's perfect. If your breathing grows heavy, let it. Volcanoes create gases that drift into the atmosphere, rising like soft sighs from the earth. Some gases cool the planet, forming gentle hazes high in the sky. Others enrich soils, helping life return after eruptions. Even in destruction, volcanoes create the conditions for renewal. Have you ever felt the strange comfort of starting again? Lava itself moves in different forms, slow and thick like honey, or thin and smooth like warm syrup gliding down a slope. In the dark, fresh lava glows quietly, like veins of molten gold sliding across the Earth's surface. It whispers rather than roars. Imagine watching that glow from a safe distance. See the soft waves of heat rising. Feel the warm air brushing your face. Hear the faint crackle of cooling surface meeting open sky. Notice how calm everything feels when you simply observe without fear. Let yourself settle into that warmth. Some volcanoes erupt under the ocean, where fire and water meet in deep, cold darkness. There, molten rock cools instantly into pillow-like shapes, forming endless fields of smooth stone. Strange life thrives around them. Tube worms, glowing bacteria, creatures who find comfort in heat and darkness. Imagine drifting underwater there. Feel the gentle pressure around your body. Hear the low hum of distant currents. See warm plumes rising from the seafloor like soft clouds. Let the image cradle you. You might not remember this part when you wake. You don't need to. Your mind is allowed to wander away. Imagine yourself standing far away from a sleeping volcano, far enough that the world feels open, gentle, and safe. The ground beneath you is warm, as if the earth has been breathing slowly for ages, letting heat drift upward through layers of ancient stone. The air around you feels still, touched with a faint mineral scent, the quiet signature of deep geological time rising subtly into the present moment. Before anything else settles in your mind, take one soft breath and another, letting everything become unhurried, calm, and wide. And as you rest here, let this gentle question float through you like a slow-moving cloud. Where are you drifting from tonight? You don't need to answer. You don't need to stay awake. Everything here is meant to help you soften, settle, and drift. Imagine warm light from a distant sunset brushing the slopes of the volcano. Shadows stretch like long, soft ribbons across the landscape. The stone is old, carrying memories of eruptions that happened quietly in the language of the earth, sometimes centuries or millennia ago. Each layer of rock is a page of history written not with ink but with fire, pressure, and patience. Have you ever wondered how long a volcano remembers? Inside every volcano lies a slow pulse of molten rock, magma drifting in chambers shaped by ancient forces. It moves gently, not in rushing rivers but in slow, deep currents that shift with the Earth's breath. Some of this molten rock has been inside the Earth for millions of years, waiting, resting, glowing softly with trapped heat. You might feel your own breath matching that slow movement. It's okay if you drift already. You don't need to hold every image. Imagine stepping softly across volcanic soil, dark, grainy, warm beneath your feet. Feel the faint texture of ash. Hear the distant call of wind skimming across stone. Smell the subtle scent of cooled lava, like warm earth after rain. Notice how quiet everything feels here. Let yourself drift deeper into that quiet. Long ago, when early humans first saw glowing lava flowing like a river of stars spilled onto Earth, they believed volcanoes were doorways to other realms. Not realms of fear, but realms of power, warmth, and creation. They noticed how volcanic ash made soil richer, how new land formed from cooling lava, how life returned again and again to places carved by fire. Volcanoes are not just destroyers, they are creators, builders of islands, makers of mountains, weavers of new earth. Have you ever wondered why volcanic soil grows forests so lush and green? Inside every grain of ash lies a mix of minerals, iron, magnesium, potassium, gifts carried upward from deep within the earth. When that ash settles, rain and time break it down into rich soil, feeding forests, meadows, and valleys. Entire ecosystems rise from the quiet aftermath of fire. Imagine that cycle now. Heat rising, lava flowing, rock cooling, ash settling, rain falling, soil forming, life returning. Feel how gentle that long cycle becomes when stretched across centuries. You don't need to stay alert. It's okay if your eyes grow heavy. Beneath your feet, volcanic rock forms shapes that feel almost alive. Ropes of hardened lava twist across the land, cooled instantly by wind and water. Smooth lava tubes form tunnels large enough to walk through, carved by molten rivers long gone. Sharp volcanic glass, obsidian, forms when lava cools too quickly, becoming smooth and reflective like dark water frozen in time. Imagine holding a piece of obsidian in your hand. Feel the cool, glassy surface. Hear the soft wind around you. Smell the warm air rising from cracks in the earth. Notice how strangely calming the stone feels. Let your mind wander across its dark shine. Have you ever wondered how islands like Hawaii were born? Far below the surface, hot spots release plumes of molten rock, creating volcanoes that rise slowly over thousands of years until they break the surface of the ocean. Lava cools into black rock, waves soften it into sand, plants drift in on wind and birds, life takes hold where nothing existed before, creation from emptiness, new land from the deep, a quiet reminder that the earth itself renews. You might already feel yourself drifting. That's perfect. You don't need to hear every word. Some volcanoes are so gentle that they release only steam, soft plumes rising into cool air, carrying minerals that paint stones with delicate colours. Others release only small trickles of lava, glowing like candlelight as they move slowly downhill, too mild to frighten, warm enough to illuminate the night in soft orange hues. Imagine watching glowing lava at night from a safe distance. Feel the warmth reaching your skin, hear the soft crackling as it cools, smell the warm mineral scent drifting on the breeze. Notice how calming slow-moving lava can be when the world is quiet. Let yourself lean into that warmth. Have you ever wondered why some volcanoes sleep for thousands of years? Deep beneath them, magma chambers cool and fill again over vast stretches of time. They rest. They gather strength. They shift slowly with tectonic plates. Some awaken gently. Others never awaken again. In that stillness lies a kind of peace, a reminder that everything natural has its own rhythm. You don't need to match that rhythm. You're allowed to move slowly. You're allowed to rest. Imagine walking along an ancient caldera, the wide, quiet bowl formed when a volcano collapses into itself after an eruption long past. The floor is wide, the air still. New forests grow where fire once roared. Birds drift through the sky overhead. The world feels healed. Notice how calm the earth becomes after time passes. Let that calm settle into you. There are volcanoes beneath the ocean, thousands of them, shaping mountains no one sees, erupting silently into dark water. Some create hydrothermal vents where strange glowing creatures live in complete darkness, thriving on minerals released from deep within the earth. Imagine drifting deep underwater. Feel the cool pressure of the ocean. Hear nothing but low, distant vibrations. See soft plumes of mineral-rich water rising like underwater clouds. Notice how life grows even in darkness. Let that image soften you. You don't need to stay awake. You can drift whenever you wish. Imagine yourself stepping into a landscape shaped not by hands, but by time, pressure, and slow forces moving beneath the surface of the world. The air feels still here, touched by a faint warmth rising from deep within the earth. As you breathe slowly, the horizon stretches in gentle waves of stone, cooled lava, and quiet ridges that look almost like frozen rivers. Somewhere in this vast stillness, you feel a question drift softly through your mind, barely more than a whisper. Where are you watching from tonight? You don't need to respond. You don't need to stay awake. Just let yourself rest inside the quiet of this ancient place. Imagine walking across a field where the ground beneath your feet is dark, smooth, and rippled like fabric caught by wind long ago. This is Pahoho lava, a silky, rope-like texture created when molten rock flowed slowly, cooling in delicate waves. Feel the subtle warmth lingering in the stone. Hear the distant sigh of wind passing through old volcanic craters. Notice how this land holds memory, fire transformed into calm. Have you ever wondered how something so violent can leave behind such gentle landscapes? Long ago, before cities, before stories, even before many of the forests you know, volcanoes shaped entire continents. Quietly, they built islands from the seafloor. They raised mountains from flat plains. They spread minerals that would one day nourish forests, meadows, and human life itself. Imagine a mountain that once roared with molten light, now silent and overgrown with moss. Feel the soft green under your fingertips. Hear the small rustle of insects moving through the shade. Smell the faint scent of damp stone. Let yourself drift into the stillness of something once fierce and now completely calm. Some of the richest soils in the world, deep, dark, fertile, exist because of volcanic ash. It breaks down over centuries, becoming a cradle for forests, vineyards, and gardens. A quiet transformation, a slow rebirth. You might not remember this part later. That's completely okay. Your mind can drift the way ashes drift on wind. Have you ever stood near a cliff made of dark stone, layered like pages in an ancient book? Those layers were once molten, piling up from repeated eruptions. Some layers cooled quickly into brittle forms, others cooled slowly, forming crystals within. Over time, rain carved shapes into them, turning old fire into sculpture. Imagine running your fingers across those layers, the smooth sections, the rough edges, the places where erosion has left gentle curves. Let the image settle around you like warm sand. There are places in the world where entire valleys folded inward due to ancient eruptions, forming vast calderas. Some look like peaceful plains now. Lakes rest in their centres, forests sway quietly in the wind. But beneath their calm surfaces lies the memory of a chamber once filled with molten rock, glowing softly like a heartbeat inside the earth. Imagine standing at the edge of such a lake. The water is still. Clouds drift slowly overhead. The air feels cool against your cheeks. Notice how peaceful it feels, knowing this quiet place was shaped by fire long ago. Let that calm sink into your breath. You don't need to follow every detail. It's okay if you drift in and out. This chapter is here to hold you gently. Some ancient volcanic fields contain tunnels formed by lava rivers, lava tubes, where molten rock flowed like thick glowing streams. When the surface cooled first, it created a hollow chamber beneath. Today, these tubes feel like long, silent hallways carved into the world. Imagine walking into one now. The air is cool. Your footsteps echo softly. Small droplets fall from the ceiling like slow rain. Notice the smooth curves of the walls, shaped by movement that ended thousands of years ago. Let yourself move slowly, without pressure, without direction. Have you ever wondered what the earth feels like from the inside? Not the heat, not the pressure, but the quiet. Volcanic landscapes hold that quiet. They contain the pause between forces, the stillness left after eruption, a gentle aftermath. In some places you can see columnar basalt, tall geometric pillars formed when lava cooled and cracked in perfect patterns. From a distance they look like organ pipes or stacks of hexagonal stones arranged by careful hands. But they formed naturally, slowly, patiently. Imagine standing beside them, placing your hand on the cool surface. Feel the ridges, hear the wind slipping between the columns. Smell the dust warmed by sunlight. Let yourself settle into the simple rhythm of being still. Some landscapes glow faintly with minerals brought up from deep within the earth. Some shimmer with obsidian, volcanic glass, smooth, sharp, reflective like dark water. Some hold crystals that formed in gas bubbles, tiny caverns filled with amethyst, quartz, or delicate formations that took centuries to grow. Imagine discovering a hollow stone and breaking it open to reveal a sparkling interior. Feel the surprise soften you. Hear the soft crack of stone separating. Notice the glimmer inside, quiet and gentle. Let yourself drift deeper into calm. You don't need to stay awake for the end of this chapter. It's okay to fade whenever you're ready. This land is patient. Some volcanoes never erupted violently at all. They oozed gently, releasing lava in slow, steady flows that shaped the land like honey pouring from a spoon. Others erupted beneath water, creating pillow-like formations that now rest on deep ocean floors. Others released ash that drifted across the world, settling softly like snow. Have you ever imagined an eruption not as a roar, but as a slow exhale of the earth? Picture a distant mountain at twilight, its slopes dark, its summit touched by pale light, the sky soft above it. No smoke, no fire, only the memory of heat deep within. Notice how safe it feels. Let your breath match the mountain's stillness. Imagine settling into a soft place inside yourself, a space where everything feels slow, warm, and unhurried. The world around you fades into a gentle hush, like distant wind moving through tall grass. Your breath drifts in and out like a tide, calm and steady. And as you soften into that rhythm, let a quiet scene rise in your mind. The deep pulse of the earth, glowing softly beneath ancient stone. You don't need to stay awake for all of this. You don't need to remember every word. If your mind drifts like smoke, that's perfect. Imagine standing at the edge of a vast caldera just before dawn. The air feels cool against your skin. The sky holds a faint silver glow. A gentle breeze carries the scent of minerals and warm dust. Notice how still everything feels, as if the entire world is holding its breath. Let yourself breathe with that stillness. Have you ever wondered what a volcano feels like when it rests? Deep beneath your feet, a hidden world stirs, quiet, ancient, glowing with slow, molten light. Magma moves not like boiling water, but like honey warmed by the sun, drifting through chambers carved over thousands of years. Soft, patient, enduring. Long ago, early observers believed volcanoes were living beings, great stone creatures whose breaths formed mountains and whose heartbeats rumbled through the ground. In a way, they weren't wrong. Volcanoes grow, they sleep, they awaken, they transform landscapes with gentle persistence. Imagine stepping closer to the crater's edge. Feel the warm breath rising from below. Hear the faint crackle of cooling rock. Smell the deep scent of the earth, metallic, warm, ancient. Notice how the rising heat wraps around you like a blanket. Let yourself settle into that warmth. Beneath every volcano lies a hidden network of tunnels, pockets, and shifting chambers, not chaotic but structured like the branching paths of a river. Magma flows through these pathways like glowing thoughts drifting through the Earth's mind. You might already be drifting. It's okay. Let the glow unfold around you. Volcanoes are storytellers of time. Every layer of ash is a chapter, every eruption a whispered memory, every cooled lava flow a record of the Earth's slow heartbeat. Have you ever noticed how fire can feel both dangerous and comforting? Inside the Earth, heat gathers softly, rising upward with patience until it finds a way out. A vent, a crack, a fissure. When it reaches the surface, it becomes lava, bright and glowing, moving with surprising calm for something so powerful. Lava doesn't rush, it glides, it spreads, it reshapes the land in slow motion waves. Imagine watching a lava flow from a safe distance. Feel the warm air brush your face, hear the quiet popping as gases escape. Smell the faint scent of minerals shifting from solid to liquid. Notice how the glow flickers along the edges like candlelight. Let yourself drift with its rhythm. Some lava is thin and flows easily, like warm syrup. Some is thick and sticky, forming slow-moving carpets of molten stone. Some cools into ropes and coils, a pattern called pehoho, soft and smooth. Some hardens into jagged blocks. Rough, sharp, ancient-looking. These forms reflect temperature, chemistry, and the quiet personality of each volcano. Have you ever wondered why some eruptions are gentle and others explosive? The answer lies in pressure, soft, steady, constant. When gases move freely, lava emerges like a peaceful exhale. When gases become trapped, pressure rises, building in silence until the Earth releases it in a gentle or powerful burst. Even the loudest eruptions begin with silence, stillness, a quiet gathering of energy deep beneath the surface. Picture sinking into that stillness now, the ground beneath you warm, the air shimmering softly, the sky a calm gradient of dawn. Hear nothing but the soft hum of the world. You don't need to stay alert. You don't need to follow every detail. Let yourself float like drifting ash. Active volcanoes shape entire ecosystems. Their ash enriches soil. Their heat forms warm springs and mineral pools. Their slopes host rare plants that thrive in nutrient-rich earth. Their lava fields become new islands, new coastlines, new worlds waiting for life to return. Life always returns. Slowly, quietly, patiently. Have you ever wondered what the Earth dreams about while it sleeps beneath stone? Volcanoes are part of that dream, warm places where the Earth's inner light meets the surface. Their presence reminds us that the planet is alive, breathing heat through cracks in its skin. Imagine placing your hand on volcanic rock. Feel its warmth lingering hours after sunset. Hear the soft settling of cooling stone. Smell the faint sulfur drifting on warm air. Notice how ancient the rock feels. Older than cities, older than rivers, older than almost everything you know. Let yourself rest in that age. Beneath even dormant volcanoes lies heat that never fully disappears. A quiet ember. A secret glow, a slow pulse. Sometimes that pulse lasts centuries without shifting. Sometimes it stirs suddenly, like a sleeper rolling over in bed. Volcanoes do not rush, they do not hurry. Their time is measured in ages. You may be drifting too, that's okay. Let your thoughts move like slow plumes of steam, and there, in the heart of volcanic quiet, lies a truth that feels almost soothing. Even destruction becomes creation. Even fire becomes soil. Even ash becomes forests. Even lava becomes land where life will one day grow. This chapter continues, but you don't need to follow closely. You can drift. You can fade. You can rest. Imagine settling into a place where the air feels steady and warm, as though the earth beneath you is holding a slow, ancient heartbeat. The world around you softens, edges blur, sounds fade into gentle murmurs as you take a slow breath, letting your shoulders relax. The atmosphere seems to shift, not with urgency, but with the calm presence of something that has existed for millions of years. Perhaps you notice a faint warmth beneath your feet, a reminder that the earth is never truly still. You don't need to stay awake for this. You don't need to hold on to every detail. It's okay to drift. Imagine standing on the slope of an ancient volcanic mountain at dusk. The air carries the scent of warm minerals. A soft breeze brushes your skin. The sky glows with pastel light fading slowly into deeper blues. Notice the stillness, the quiet, the sense of a giant sleeping beneath you. Let yourself settle into that stillness. Have you ever wondered how a volcano breathes, even when it sleeps? Long after eruptions fade into memory, volcanoes continue releasing tiny whispers of gas, soft streams of steam rising from vents, warm patches of ground where hidden heat lingers, faint traces of sulfur drifting gently into the air. These are not warnings. They are simply the quiet exhalations of the earth, small reminders that deep below, molten rock still moves with unhurried patience. Some volcanoes have been dormant longer than human civilization has existed, yet they still radiate warmth from within. Some release minerals into nearby soil, enriching forests with nutrients that drift upward through roots and leaves. Some create warm springs where water feels naturally heated by the Earth's core, cradling you in gentle thermal comfort. You might not realize it, but dormant volcanoes shape entire landscapes silently. Imagine placing your hand on a patch of volcanic stone. Feel the smoothness beneath your fingertips. Notice the gentle warmth locked inside. Hear the faint crackle of cooling minerals in your imagination. Smell the dry, clean scent of rock baked by ancient heat. Let the calm of this mountain sink into you. You don't need to be fully awake for this. If your thoughts drift away, that's perfect. Some volcanoes release gas in patterns that scientists describe as Earth's breathing. Soft waves, long pauses, slow rhythms. Inside these mountains, magma chambers breathe in heat, breathe out warmth, in cycles that move like tides within rock. Have you ever considered how patient the Earth must be to move in cycles lasting thousands of years? Picture walking through a meadow at the base of an old volcano. The soil is dark, rich, full of quiet power. Flowers grow in colours more vibrant than elsewhere. Trees rise taller, nourished by minerals released long ago. The wind carries a faint warmth, as though passing over ancient embers. Hear the soft rustle of tall grass moving like gentle waves. Let yourself relax into the idea that destruction can lead to renewal, softly, slowly. Some of the world's most fertile regions exist because volcanoes once erupted there. Ash, once feared, becomes nourishment. Lava, once molten, becomes soil. Mountains, once violent, become sanctuaries. This transformation happens not with force, but with the slow patience of time. You don't have to stay alert. Your mind can drift with the landscape. Imagine a volcanic crater filled not with fire, but with calm, clear water. The surface reflects clouds moving lazily across the sky. The air feels cool, carrying a faint mineral scent. The silence inside the crater feels deeper than normal silence, as if sound itself becomes gentle here. Notice the smoothness of the inner walls, carved slowly by wind and rain. Let yourself drift into that calm. Some craters hold entire forests within them. hidden ecosystems shaped by the protective bowl of ancient eruptions. Some hold lakes so pure they appear like polished glass. Some cradle warm pools created by internal heat rising through stone. Have you ever wondered what secrets a mountain holds after millions of years of quiet? Deep below, magma chambers shift in slow currents. Minerals crystallize in patterns that resemble stars, branching crystals forming in darkness. Volcanic rocks change color as iron and heat interact. Gas pockets form gentle pulses within stone, like tiny heartbeats of the earth. You may already feel sleepy. That's good. Let your thoughts drift softly. Imagine walking along a ridge where the ground feels warm beneath your feet. Not hot, just warm. A reminder that beneath miles of rock the earth still glows. Feel the temperature difference as night air cools your skin. Hear the distant call of a night bird circling above the crater. Smell the faint scent of dust warmed throughout the day. Let the contrast soothe you. Cool air, warm earth, slow breath. Some dormant volcanoes release tiny tremors, too small to feel, through rock layers. These vibrations are simply the mountain adjusting itself, settling, breathing, preparing nothing, threatening nothing, just existing. Have you ever sensed something ancient beneath you, even without seeing it? Volcanoes that haven't erupted for tens of thousands of years still hold heat inside. Some have lava tubes running beneath forests, tunnels carved by ancient rivers of fire. These tubes echo with faint drips of water. Small breezes drift through them like cool sighs. Bats sleep in their ceilings, hanging beneath stone shaped by fire long forgotten. Imagine stepping inside one of those lava tubes. The ground feels firm and cool. Your footsteps echo gently. The walls ripple with patterns frozen in motion. The air tastes clean and mineral-rich. Notice how the silence becomes deeper here. Let yourself breathe into that silence. Imagine settling into a quiet space within yourself. The kind of stillness that feels like warm stone beneath your hands, steady and ancient. Take a slow breath. Feel it soften your chest, and let your mind drift gently as if it were warm ash rising into a calm twilight sky. And before the journey unfolds, let this soft question float across your thoughts like a distant ember. Are you somewhere comfortable tonight? You don't have to answer. You don't have to stay awake. This chapter will hold you gently either way. Imagine standing at the edge of an ancient volcanic plain, an expanse where time feels deeper than memory. The ground beneath your feet carries a quiet warmth, the kind that lingers from events long past. A faint mineral scent rests in the air. The world here feels slower, heavier in a comforting way, as if every stone remembers something softly. Have you ever wondered how long a volcano dreams before it wakes? Volcanoes live in rhythms far older than forests, older than rivers, older than entire mountain ranges. Beneath them, molten rock drifts in slow currents, moving with the patience of centuries. This magma does not rush. It rises like a thought, forming gently, quietly, across spans of time too deep for humans to feel. Picture that movement, a slow, glowing tide. Warm, silent, ancient. Let yourself drift with it. There are volcanoes that have not erupted in thousands of years, yet deep within them, quiet chambers pulse with warmth. Others slumber so deeply that forests have grown over their craters, roots curling through once molten stone. Some are newborn, rising from the ocean floor in smooth pillars that steam gently when they break the surface. Imagine the ocean parting softly around a rising volcanic peak. Feel the cool mist on your skin. Hear the deep, distant rumble. Smell the faint salt blending with warm minerals. Notice how the world feels both vast and comforting. Let yourself ease into that sensation. You don't need to follow every word. It's okay if your thoughts drift. It's okay if your eyes grow heavy. Long ago, early observers believed volcanoes were living beings, breathing, dreaming, pausing, awakening. And in a way they were right. Volcanoes breathe gases from deep within the earth, exhaling into the air in slow, steady patterns. They create new land with gentle flows of lava. They renew soil with rich minerals. They give as much as they take. Have you ever wondered why volcanic soil grows such vibrant forests? Because every eruption, no matter how soft or dramatic, leaves behind nutrients that seep into the ground. Over time, these minerals create some of the most fertile landscapes on Earth. Entire ecosystems bloom where lava once cooled. Imagine that transformation. Barren rock softening with rain, moss settling gently over cracks, seeds drifting on the wind and finding warmth. Roots weaving into stone made tender by time. Feel how the world renews itself without hurry. Let your body mirror that patience. Some volcanoes erupt beneath glaciers, sending plumes of steam whispering into frozen air. Others erupt underwater, creating quiet explosions muffled by deep ocean pressure. Some seep lava in peaceful flows that move like glowing rivers. A few send ash drifting through the sky like delicate grey snow. Picture yourself watching ash fall. Feel the soft, powdery texture settle around you. Hear the faint whisper of particles touching the earth. Smell the coolness of air after a distant eruption. Notice how calm the world feels in that gentle silence. Let yourself breathe into it. You may already be drifting. You may feel thoughts fading like cooling lava. That's okay. You don't need to stay present for all of this. There are volcanoes that erupt only once in recorded history, leaving behind vast calderas, quiet basins where lakes eventually form. Some become warm spring pools, some become forests, some hold fog in the morning that moves like slow breath across water. Imagine walking through a caldera at dawn. The air feels crisp. Light spreads across still water. Birdsong echoes softly across stone walls. The earth beneath you feels old but safe. Let yourself wander there. Beneath every volcano is a story written in layers of cooled lava, ash, pumice, and mineral veins. These layers form records of quiet periods, slow build-ups, gentle exhalations, and long sleeps. Scientists read these layers like pages in a calm, ancient book. Have you ever thought about the Earth having memories? Volcanoes remember their own rhythms, their own sighs, their own warmth. And as you settle into this moment, breathing slowly, feeling your body soften like cooling stone, that same ancient calm flows into you. Let yourself drift deeper. Imagine settling into a quiet space within yourself, a place where warmth gathers slowly, like the gentle glow of embers resting beneath soft ash. Around you, the world seems to soften and dim, turning into shades of deep copper, soft charcoal, and molten orange. The air feels still, almost suspended, as though it too is listening for something ancient beneath the surface. And as you breathe in deeply, letting the breath move through you like a quiet tide, a gentle question drifts through your mind like smoke rising into twilight. Are you somewhere peaceful right now? You don't have to answer. You don't have to stay awake. It's okay to drift whenever you're ready. Imagine standing on the edge of a vast landscape shaped by time, an ancient volcanic valley where the Earth's hidden heart once opened gently to the sky. The ground beneath your feet feels warm, as if holding a memory of fire long since softened. A soft breeze carries the faint scent of minerals and cooled stone. You hear distant echoes, perhaps wind slipping through old lava tubes, hollow corridors carved by molten rivers now turned to quiet black rock. Have you ever wondered what the inside of the earth feels like? Not the harsh, fiery descriptions from textbooks, but the deeper, slower truth beneath them. Picture a volcano not as an explosion, but as a long breath, a slow inhale of molten rock rising over thousands of years, a patient gathering of warmth, a deep stirring of ancient material that has been waiting in silence. The magma below is not always violent. Most of the time it drifts, it settles, it pulses slowly with the Earth's internal rhythm. And in that slow movement, entire continents shift softly, mountains rise quietly. Islands appear like dreams breaking through the ocean surface. You don't need to stay alert. Your thoughts can wander like cooled lava fields stretching toward the horizon. Long ago, before humans existed, volcanoes shaped the world gently. They created the first land masses. They built mountains where none stood before. They released gases that helped form the early atmosphere. They poured out minerals that fed the first growing ecosystems. Without volcanoes, the world would be flat, quiet, and lifeless. Imagine watching a newborn island rise from the sea. Imagine the deep rumble beneath the water. Feel the warmth blooming upward through waves. Hear the hiss as molten rock meets cool ocean. Smell the faint scent of steam swirling into open sky. Notice how creation can be soft, slow, and steady, even if it comes from fire. Some volcanoes sleep for thousands of years, some never erupt at all, existing only as warm shadows beneath mountains. Some breathe gently, releasing soft plumes of steam that drift into blue skies. Some murmur beneath your feet, sending tiny tremors that feel more like whispers than warnings. Have you ever noticed how the Earth's deepest processes feel almost alive? Imagine an underground magma chamber, glowing softly like a quiet lantern beneath stone. The molten rock flows not quickly but slowly, thick, heavy, patient. It moves like honey warmed by sunlight, drifting in a deep reservoir where the world keeps its oldest memories. You might already be drifting too. That's completely okay. You can rest. Inside the Earth, crystals form within cooling magma, large, shimmering shapes that grow over millions of years. Some are bright like quartz, some are dark like obsidian. Some hold tiny pockets of ancient air trapped inside them, preserving whispers from a time before forests, before oceans, before life. Imagine holding one of those crystals. Feel the smooth surface. Notice the faint warmth. See the soft glow of minerals formed in complete darkness. Let yourself relax into that image. Volcanoes are not only fire, they are water too. Many eruptions begin deep beneath the sea, where pressure holds everything still and quiet. There, magma rises silently, building mountains no one ever sees. Entire underwater ranges, stretching across the planet, are volcanic, glowing faintly in the ocean's cool blue dark. Picture standing on the ocean floor, surrounded by black stone arches formed by cooled lava. Feel the weight of water above you like a comforting blanket. Hear nothing but the distant clicking of tiny sea creatures. Notice the gentle warmth rising from cracks in the rock. Let yourself drift with this calm, ancient warmth. Some volcanoes breathe out minerals that feed entire ecosystems. Some create fertile soil that grows lush forests. Some release gases that rain clouds gather, turning volcanic valleys into green sanctuaries. Life follows fire in ways that feel magical. You don't need to remember any of this. You don't need to stay conscious. Just let the words flow around you like warm air rising from deep stone. There are volcanoes that erupt beneath glaciers, melting tunnels of blue ice. There are volcanoes hidden under lakes, shaping underwater currents. There are volcanoes buried in deserts, releasing steam into the dry air like sighs. There are even volcanoes on the ocean floor that glow faintly with bioluminescent bacteria, creating underwater auroras that drift like soft curtains of light. Have you ever imagined fire and water existing in perfect calm together? Picture a glowing river of lava moving through a dark landscape, not rushing, but drifting slowly, flowing like melted gold. Feel the soft heat radiating toward you, not painful, just warm, like the sensation of sitting near a campfire. Hear the quiet crackling as the surface cools. Smell the faint mineral aroma rising into the night. Notice how the lava moves with a calm inevitability, shaping everything gently. And as your breathing slows, let yourself drift deeper into this world where fire is soft and the earth's heart beats quietly beneath your feet. Imagine settling into a quiet place within yourself, where everything feels slow, gentle, and softened by the hush of distance. The world outside drifts away like a dim horizon beneath a warm twilight sky. Your breathing falls into a calm rhythm, rising like warm air, falling like cooled stone. And before we drift deeper, allow yourself one soft question, barely more than a whisper in your mind. Are you somewhere comfortable right now? You don't have to answer. You don't even have to listen closely. You may drift in and out, and it's perfectly okay. Picture yourself standing at the edge of an ancient volcanic plain. The air is warm, holding traces of minerals and far-off rain. Clouds drift lazily across a sky tinted with soft shades of ember light. The earth beneath your feet feels solid, old, and patient. A surface shaped quietly by fire and time. Feel the faint warmth rising through the ground. Hear a distant rumble, low and comforting, like the earth breathing in its sleep. Imagine the smell of cooled stone, dust, and the faint sweetness of wind passing over miles of wilderness. Let the landscape wrap around you like a warm blanket of stillness. Have you ever wondered what it feels like beneath your feet, deep in the hidden world where molten rock drifts like ancient glowing rivers? Far below the crust, the earth holds seas of magma that move slowly over centuries, not rushing, not boiling violently, but drifting, swirling, pulsing with a heat older than the oceans above. Long ago, early explorers noticed strange cracks in the land where steam rose gently into the sky. These weren't signs of danger. They were the quiet exhalations of volcanoes at rest, warm breaths from deep underground, reminding the world that fire sleeps there. And as you breathe softly, you might sense that same rhythm within yourself. Warmth rising, cooling, rising again. It's okay to drift. You don't need to hear every word. You may be half asleep already. Imagine walking across an ancient lava field. The ground feels uneven beneath you, waves of once molten stone frozen mid-flow. Tiny plants cling to cracks, soft moss filling small hollows. Wind slides across the surface with a low sigh, as if remembering the heat that shaped this place. Over time, volcanoes create entire landscapes. Islands form from their patient eruptions, mountains rise and soften, valleys stretch into gentle plains, forests return, slowly, as ash becomes rich soil. Have you ever noticed how something fierce can eventually become fertile? How destruction can quietly transform into nourishment? Volcanoes are not only fire, they are renewal. They are endings that become beginnings. They are cycles written across continents. Picture sitting near a caldera lake at dusk. The surface is smooth as glass. Mountains rise around you like sleeping giants. Mist drifts lightly across warm water. The air smells faintly of minerals, sulfur, stone, and something ancient. Hear the water lapping gently at the shore. Feel the coolness of night settling in. Notice the soft steam rising from cracks in distant rocks. Let yourself settle like ash drifting onto still water. Long ago, entire civilizations flourished around volcanoes. They knew the land was fertile. They understood the quiet rhythms of heat and soil. They respected the mountain's silence as much as its rumbling. And sometimes they told gentle stories. One story spoke of a mountain spirit who warmed the earth from within, never in anger, only in a slow breath that brought new land to life. Another told of sleeping fire guarded by ancient beings who whispered through rumbling stone. Another imagined magma as the earth's heartbeat, slow, steady, impossible to hurry. These weren't stories of fear, they were stories of respect, patience, and wonder. You may feel the same now, a sense of awe, softened by calmness, wrapped in quiet. You don't need to stay awake. If your eyes grow heavy, that's perfect. Let yourself drift. Imagine warm rain falling onto black volcanic rock. Each drop hisses softly, sending tiny curls of steam into the air. Feel the contrast. Cool rain, warm stone. Hear the quiet crackling. Notice the smell of damp minerals rising in waves. Let the scene slow your thoughts into a peaceful haze. Beneath the earth, volcanic systems move like deep ocean currents. Magma chambers expand slowly. Gases drift upward through pores in the rock. Pressure shifts like the gentle tides of a hidden world. Have you ever wondered whether the earth dreams? Whether mountains have memories? Whether valleys remember the fire that shaped them? In silence, the planet keeps these stories. Picture a volcano that last erupted thousands of years ago. Grass covers its slopes, trees sway gently around its base, birds nest in old lava tubes. The crater holds quiet pools of water reflecting soft moonlight. Nothing here feels dangerous. Everything feels ancient, settled, resting. And you may rest too. If your breathing slows, let it. If your thoughts drift, let them wander like warm ash floating through still air. You don't have to hold on. You can melt into this calm. Volcanic ash itself is full of mysteries. It contains tiny shards of glass formed from rapid cooling. It carries minerals that enrich soils for centuries. It drifts high into the atmosphere where winds carry it across oceans. Some ash layers become time markers in ancient Earth records, delicate layers that whisper stories of eruptions long forgotten. Imagine running your fingers through cooled ash. Feel its powdery softness. See its faint shimmer in sunlight. Smell the dryness, like old stone warmed by the sun. Hear it slipping quietly between your fingers. Let the sensation ease you deeper into calm. And so, volcanoes shape worlds not through destruction alone, but through cycles of quiet creation. They build islands, they feed forests, they warm hidden springs, they guide rivers, they paint the sky during distant sunsets. They do all of this without hurry, without urgency, only through slow, patient changes. You may feel your body sinking deeper into comfort now. It's okay. You don't need to stay present. Let yourself drift. Imagine settling into a quiet place inside yourself, a place where the world feels distant and hushed, as if wrapped in layers of warm earth. Take a slow breath. Feel your body soften. The night steadies around you like ancient stone, and as you exhale, a gentle question settles over you like drifting ash. Are you somewhere peaceful right now? You don't have to answer. You don't even have to stay awake. Let the words drift around you like warm volcanic air rising from deep below. Imagine standing on the slope of an ancient volcano, not during an eruption, but in the long, patient silence that fills most of its life. The ground beneath you feels firm, heavy, steady. A faint warmth rises from cracks in the earth, like the soft breath of something immense resting far below. The sky above is quiet, a canvas of deep blues, distant stars shimmering like sparks suspended in time. Have you ever wondered what the world feels like from the inside? Far beneath your feet, magma moves with a slowness that defies imagination. Thick, glowing, drifting through chambers carved by millions of years. It doesn't rush. It doesn't leap. It flows like honey in a dream. Quiet, ancient, waiting. Imagine the Earth's crust like a sleeping giant's skin, warm in places, cool in others, shifting in rhythms older than human memory. Small tremors ripple through stone the way breaths ripple through a resting body. Everything moves, but nothing hurries. You might already feel yourself softening into this rhythm. It's okay. You don't need to be alert. Scientists once discovered that volcanoes hum, a deep, low-frequency vibration. Too soft for human ears, pulses through the ground before eruptions. Long ago, people described this as the mountain whispering, sighing, or murmuring ancient secrets. Imagine pressing your palm to the earth. Feel the faint warmth. Feel the subtle vibration beneath your skin. Hear nothing, but sense everything. Let yourself drift. Volcanoes create worlds. Islands rise from the sea. Forests grow from ash. Life returns again and again, softer each time, but more abundant. Perhaps you've felt this yourself, how something difficult can break open into new ground, new growth, new calm. Volcanoes are reminders that destruction and creation are intertwined, forming one slow, patient cycle. And you don't need to remember this later. It's all right if you're drifting already. Your breathing is enough. Imagine walking across cooled lava fields at dusk. The ground beneath you is ridged and textured, still holding the memory of flowing fire. The air carries the scent of warm stone and distant rain. As light fades, the landscape glows faintly with retained heat, like embers hidden beneath ash. Have you ever noticed how warmth can feel like reassurance? Some lava cools into smooth, rope-like shapes called pehoho, soft in appearance even though they're hard as glass. Others harden into jagged formations called aya, sharp and brittle, crackling softly under your steps. Picture running your fingertips along one of these surfaces. Feel the texture, warm in some places, cool in others. Hear the faint sound of stone settling. Notice how calm the landscape feels now, long after the fire has passed. Let yourself relax deeper. Inside volcanic rock, tiny crystals form, slowly, quietly, different shapes depending on how quickly the lava cooled. Some crystals glow faintly when held to the light. Some contain gas bubbles trapped from ancient eruptions. Each piece of volcanic rock is a frozen moment in Earth's deep memory. You may already be slipping into stillness. That's okay. You're allowed. Imagine settling into a quiet space within yourself, letting a slow breath drift in and then out again, as though the air is moving through you like a gentle tide. The world softens around you. The edges blur, and in that softened space, you feel something deep, something ancient, something warm pulsing beneath the surface of the planet. Before your mind drifts too far, a quiet question floats toward you like smoke rising into twilight. Are you somewhere peaceful right now? You don't need to answer. You don't need to stay awake. Everything here is slow, gentle, unhurried. Let your body soften. Imagine standing on the slope of an ancient volcano, not during eruption, not during danger, but during a quiet moment when the world is still, the air cool, the ground warm beneath your feet. The sky above you glows with soft evening colours, lavenders, rose golds, dusky blues. A gentle wind moves across volcanic rock, carrying the faint scent of minerals and warm earth. The ground holds heat from deep within the planet, a slow heartbeat that's been pulsing for billions of years. Have you ever wondered what the earth feels like beneath its surface? What secrets drift in molten stone? What stories wait in the shadows of ancient calderas? It's okay if your eyes grow heavy. It's okay if your thoughts drift. You don't need to hear every word. Volcanoes are not violent beings. They're part of Earth's slow breathing cycle. Long ago, volcanic activity created much of the air you breathe. The early atmosphere, thick with steam, carbon, volcanic gases, was shaped by eruptions that continued for millions of years. And over time, rain fell from ancient skies, cooling the planet, forming oceans, softening the world. Imagine the first rains steaming on volcanic rock. Feel the warmth of the ground rising toward your skin. Hear the soft hiss of droplets meeting heat. Smell the mineral-rich air, ancient and deep. Notice the calm hidden inside that moment. Let yourself drift into it. Beneath every volcano lies a chamber of molten rock, magma, slow, patient, swirling like a thick dream beneath the crust. It doesn't rush. It moves over centuries, over millennia. Some chambers feed multiple volcanoes. Some sleep for hundreds of thousands of years before stirring again. Some never erupt at all. Perhaps you felt this before, the sense that something deep within you moves slowly, quietly, shaping your inner world without you noticing. Volcanoes can build islands that rise from the sea like ancient towers. They create new land where there was only water. They enrich soil to nourish forests and fields. They release minerals that drift through ecosystems for thousands of years. They paint skies with dust that softens sunsets into breathtaking colours. Imagine watching one of those sunsets now, the sky glowing orange and violet, the horizon gentle and warm, the world quiet except for your own breathing. Let the scene settle inside you. Have you ever wondered why volcanic soil is so fertile? It carries the memory of deep earth, iron, magnesium, potassium, minerals essential to life. Rain mixes with ash. Roots settle into the softened ground. Forests rise from the shadows of old eruptions. Imagine walking through one of those forests, the ground springy beneath you, leaves whispering above, a faint warmth lingering in the soil. Notice how life returns quietly. Let yourself drift with that thought. Long ago, a single volcanic eruption in Indonesia dimmed sunlight across the world for months. Temperatures cooled, the skies grew hazy, but even then, plants adapted, forests shifted, new growth emerged where old growth had been lost. Life bends gently, life continues, just as you do. You don't need to stay awake for this part. If your eyelids feel heavy, let them fall. If your thoughts wander, let them go. Sleep can take you whenever it chooses. Volcanoes exist not only on Earth. There are volcanoes on Venus, Mars, and Jupiter's moons. Some spew molten sulfur, some release water vapor into space, some erupt through ice instead of rock. Imagine that. Volcanoes glowing beneath frozen oceans on distant moons. Feel the quiet wonder of that idea. Hear nothing but the soft hum of your breath. Notice how the universe feels both vast and intimate. Let yourself drift. Have you ever wondered what a volcano looks like from inside its resting crater? Still. Silent. A bowl of stone holding the memory of fire. Imagine standing inside one now, walls rising around you in smooth slopes, the air cool, the ground warm, light filtering gently from above. Let your mind settle into that sheltered space. Some volcanoes collapse inward, forming massive calderas that become lakes. Clear water fills the hollow. Mist rises at dawn. Birds drift across the surface. Trees grow along the rim. There is peace even in the aftermath of fire. And perhaps you feel a similar peace, a gentleness unfolding inside you. You don't need to try. Just let it happen. Imagine settling into a moment where everything around you softens, where the edges of your thoughts loosen like warm sand shifting beneath a gentle tide. The world becomes quieter, slower, almost weightless. You breathe in, letting the air fill your chest with calm, and the silence expands inside you like a warm, glowing cavern. And as you sink a little deeper into this calm, a soft question drifts through your mind, unhurried, almost whispered. Are you somewhere peaceful right now? There's no need to answer. You don't need to stay awake. You can drift whenever your body decides. Imagine now that you're standing at the base of a sleeping volcano. The air carries a faint warmth rising from deep rocks below, a kind of ancient breath drifting through cracks in the earth. The ground beneath your feet feels solid, yet alive, like a creature resting beneath layers of soil and stone, dreaming slowly in the dark. You feel the weight of the mountain above you, not heavy, but steady. Protective, its slopes rise gently into the sky, where clouds glide across the sun with soft, slow movements. The world around you is quiet, peaceful, still. Volcanoes do not hurry, they do not rush. They hold their stories for ages, letting time collect in their cores like grains of sand. Have you ever wondered what silence feels like miles beneath the ground? Imagine descending gently through layers of earth, cool soil giving way to warm stone giving way to faint vibrations deeper down. The air becomes rich with the scent of minerals and ancient heat. You feel the vast stillness of the planet's interior surrounding you, holding you, guiding you with quiet hands. Below the world you know, molten rock moves with the patience of centuries. It flows like honey in slow motion, drifting through chambers carved over ages. These chambers expand and contract like a sleeping heartbeat, the earth breathing in cycles too long for human minds to notice. You don't need to follow every detail. You don't need to stay alert. You can fade in and out like drifting ash in a soft breeze. Picture standing near a warm fumarole, steam rising in gentle ribbons into the cool air. Feel the soft humidity brushing your skin. Hear the whisper of vapor escaping, like the breath of a sleeping animal. Smell the faint mineral scent, earthy and smooth. Notice how calm everything feels, even in a place shaped by fire. Let yourself drift into that warmth. Volcanoes create new land with slow, steady patience. Ancient eruptions formed the ground beneath entire forests. Islands rose from the sea on pillars of rock. Mountains grew where once there was only water. And life followed. Moss first, then flowers, then animals, drawn to the fertility of fresh soil. Have you ever felt the quiet potential inside something that hasn't awakened yet? Volcanic ash, delicate as powder, holds minerals that enrich every place it touches. When it settles, it becomes part of fertile soil. It nurtures roots, it feeds forests, it transforms barren landscapes into gardens. Imagine running your hand through warm volcanic sand. Feel the fine grains slip through your fingers. Hear the soft sound they make as they flow. Notice how each grain carries a fragment of deep time. Let your thoughts flow the same way, softly, effortlessly. Some volcanoes erupt with thunderous force, reshaping the world in moments, but most of their lives are spent in deep, patient silence. Centuries pass without a single sound. They watch over valleys, they support forests, they hold rivers in their arms, they cradle sleeping stones in their cores. You might already feel yourself drifting. That's good. That's exactly what this space is for. Imagine mist curling around the base of a volcano at dawn. The sky blushes with early light. Birds call softly from distant trees. The air is still cool, but the ground beneath your feet carries a faint warmth that rises gently through your soles. It feels like the earth remembering something ancient, and you are part of that memory. Volcanoes form obsidian, glass forged from the heart of fire, smooth, dark, reflective, once used as mirrors by ancient civilizations. Imagine holding a piece in your palm, cool, glossy, almost like water turned into stone. Feel the contrast between its cold surface and the warmth of your hand. Notice how it reflects the world gently, like a calm pool. Let your breath settle into that quiet reflection. Have you ever wondered how long the Earth has been shaping itself? Volcanoes have existed for billions of years. Some erupted before life began. Some created the foundations for future oceans. Some birthed islands that became entire ecosystems. They work slowly, quietly, often unseen. Their power lies not in eruption, but in patience. You don't need to stay awake to hear their story. You can drift. You can rest. This chapter will wait for you. Underneath your imagination, rivers of magma drift with the softness of candle wax warmed by a quiet flame. They move in currents barely perceivable. They swell and retreat. They wait. They breathe in long, slow cycles, and the earth expands and contracts around them like lungs. Imagine now that you're looking up at a volcano's crater rim. Clouds drift across the sky, slow and pale. The wind carries the scent of sulfur, faint, distant, ancient. The vast bowl of stone feels like a sleeping giant's eye, closed and peaceful. You feel small, but in a comforting way, like standing near something wise and patient. Let yourself settle deeper. Let your breathing slow. Let your thoughts fade like cooling lava becoming stone. Some volcanoes hide lakes inside their craters, water so still it resembles a mirror reflecting the sky. These lakes are calm, holding centuries of rainwater. Life flourishes around them quietly. Imagine sitting at the edge of one. Feel the cool stone beneath your palms. Hear the soft ripple of water touched by wind. See the reflection of clouds drifting overhead. Notice how time feels slower here. Let yourself drift with the clouds. Volcanoes store heat that warms groundwater, creating hot springs. Warm pools where steam rises gently from the surface, where minerals soften the water, where the earth feels like it is embracing you. Have you ever stepped into warm water and felt every muscle in your body release? The earth offers that feeling naturally. You might already be close to sleep. There's no need to resist. Let your mind drift like steam rising from warm stone. Imagine standing at the edge of an ancient caldera, the air warm and still around you, carrying the faint scent of minerals rising from deep within the earth. The ground beneath your feet feels steady, yet alive, as though it remembers every quiet tremor that shaped it over countless ages. You breathe slowly, letting the warmth drift across your skin, and feel yourself settle into this vast volcanic landscape. Perhaps you notice the soft hum of the world beneath you, a low whisper that has echoed since the beginning of time. Have you ever wondered what sleeps beneath mountains? Not danger, not chaos, just slow, patient motion, stone drifting, heat swirling, earth dreaming. Imagine walking along dark volcanic soil, so fine it slips beneath your steps like soft ash. Feel the warmth radiating upward, hear the faint crackle of cooling rock. Notice how the land stretches around you, shaped by eruptions so ancient that even the oldest trees cannot remember them. Let yourself drift into the stillness of this place, where the past lingers gently in every ridge and shadow. Deep below, magma moves like slow honey, pushing and settling in rhythms older than memory. It does not rush, it does not fight, it simply flows, reshaping the world with patient persistence. Some volcanoes sleep for thousands of years, their chambers quiet and unmoving. Others breathe more often, releasing gentle puffs of steam that rise into the cool air like sighs from the earth itself. You might already be drifting as you picture it, that warm light glowing beneath layers of stone. It's okay to let your mind wander. You don't need to follow every image. You don't need to stay fully awake. Imagine placing your hand on the trunk of a tree growing along a volcanic slope. The bark feels cool despite the warmth radiating from the ground. Roots extend deep into nutrient-rich soil, enriched by ancient eruptions that turned rock into fertile dust. Forests thrive here, born from landscapes once covered in fire. New life rising from cooled lava is one of the Earth's quiet wonders, the way destruction softens, dissolves, and eventually becomes a cradle for green. Long ago, explorers watched as glowing rivers of lava crept slowly down mountainsides. They noticed that even as the world shifted in dramatic ways, the movement itself was unhurried, as though the earth understood the importance of taking its time. As lava cooled, it formed patterns, ripples, ridges, smooth waves, each one a frozen moment in the planet's slow breath. That breath continues even now, beneath your imagination, beneath your calm. Have you ever felt comfort in warmth that doesn't rush you? Volcanoes radiate that kind of warmth, gentle, steady, ancient. Imagine standing safely on a ridge at dusk, watching a distant plume of steam rise from a crater. The sky glows soft orange, fading into deep blue as evening settles. Feel the faint breeze across your face. Hear the low rumble carried miles through stone and air. Notice how the sound feels more like a heartbeat than a warning. Slow, grounding, alive. You don't need to hold on to every word. You might already be floating. That's exactly right. Volcanic islands offer some of the quietest beauty on Earth. Black sand beaches warmed by sunlight, smooth cliffs carved by old eruptions, pools of warm water shaped by geothermal heat. Imagine sinking into one of those pools, feeling the warmth wrap around you like a blanket of liquid stone. The steam rises softly. The air smells faintly of minerals. Your muscles loosen, your thoughts drift. In Iceland, warm springs bubble beneath the snow. In Hawaii, new land forms beneath glowing lava as it slips into the sea. In Japan, forests grow atop ancient flows, their roots weaving through cracks in the hardened ground. In each place, volcanoes have shaped quiet sanctuaries, spaces where nature rests after its slow, powerful movements. Let yourself rest too. Let yourself breathe. Let everything soften. Imagine walking through a lava tube, a long tunnel formed by molten rock that once flowed like a river beneath the surface. The air inside is cool. Your footsteps echo faintly. You run your fingers lightly along the smooth curved walls, feeling the trace of heat that shaped them long ago. This is the Earth's memory, a hollow path carved by fire, preserved in stillness, and as you wander deeper in your mind, the world around you fades into gentle darkness, glowing faintly with warmth, shifting softly with ancient rhythm. You don't need to stay awake for the next part. The earth continues beneath you, slow and steady, whether your eyes are open or already drifting closed. Good night.